What makes an inspiring speaker? 10 years ago, I attended a spiritual healing conference. I've attended lots of recollections and retreats before, and for me, most of the topics were the same. But the guy from Canada was different. He looked like Sean Connery, except a bit younger, darker complexion. And when he started speaking, the whole room became silent. We were crying and laughing at the same time. We thought we were going crazy. Until when I scanned the whole room, I noticed that the whole venue was silent. When he came to the end of his speech, I told two things to myself. First, I want to become the same inspiring speaker like he was, and I want to have the same relationship we had with him. That is the time I experienced the power of an inspiring speaker. And that is the reason why 10 years ago I started my Toastmasters journey. What makes an inspiring speaker? Let's use the chat box for participation. Can you give an adjective that would describe an inspiring speaker? The best answer, actually I'm looking for one particular answer, would win 1,000 voucher from Encabo Steak and Coffee. And don't use prolific. No? Have an original adjective for inspiring speaker. Okay, let's wait for the answers. One that speaks from the heart. Thank you very much. June Dimaano. Okay. ZM said life-changing. A listener by Cecil Mendoza. What else? Jerry Bustamante sharing own story. So the word I'm looking for is life-changing. Some of you may share empowering, touching, motivating, relatable, but an inspiring message is life-changing. It's life-changing. And I've researched on the real meaning of inspiring or inspiration. It came from the Latin word inspirare, which literally means to breathe into life. It means, in the strictest sense, a supernatural being, a divine being imparting an idea, a truth, a message that would breathe life to the person. So it's very clear. We have no power to impart life because we're not the source of life. But we, the speaker, shall be used as a bridge between the Almighty and the audience. Through us, we will become instruments of healing and inspiration. Healing and inspiration. So just like a doctor, he has no power to bring people to life, but he becomes an instrument for healing. It's very clear. Now, as a doctor, you prepare in order to be effective. That is the things I'll be sharing to you tonight so that we become effective too and becoming channels of hope and healing and life. So are you ready? Can you type R if you're ready? Type R. Okay. So first, if you're invited to give a speech, what is the first thing you need to do? That is to think of the audience. Begin with the audience in mind. You need to do some research. What are the demographics, the age, the number of gender, the positions in the company? What is the culture of that organization? Most of you are brokers. And as I get to learn about the audience, I can tailor fit my message so that it would resonate with the audience. It's very important so that I could be able to speak the language of the audience. If I'm speaking to medical professionals, I can use their language. If I'm speaking to brokers, I need to be using their language so that there will be no barrier. Second, no matter how you prepare, there are still people you haven't met yet. So what are you gonna do? How do you craft your speech so that they would still be interested? I learned this tip from a world champion in public speaking, Muhammad Shukri, and he told me that actually people are like trees. Just like trees have different heights, different colors of leaves, we people have different backgrounds, experiences. As I listen to your speeches, we have different experiences. But underneath the surface, we have the same things. What do you mean by that? Deep inside our hearts, we have things that we have in common. Hopes, dreams, disappointments, tragedies. These, as we connect with these common roots, as we reveal common roots, we are able also to touch other people. So, just like this two piano, according to it's been proven that if you press one key, a particular piano, the other one, without you touching the other key, as long as they're calibrated, it would also, the same key, the same string would vibrate. We call this phenomenon as resonance. So just like if I connect with my heart, with my experience, even though I haven't met that person, that member of the audience, he would also feel what I'm going. And a perfect example is like, whenever you hear, can you remember your favorite song, even though we haven't met the writer of the song? Why is it that we can relate and it adds value to us? Because the writer of the song, the composer, was able to capture his experience. He was able to connect with the root, and he was able to communicate. We don't need to be clever with our words. We just need to communicate the truth, that common. Now third, so as you begin with silence, as much as possible, whenever I craft speeches, I begin with silence, and then I wake up really early, I take my coffee or tea, and then I don't force the story out, but rather it would come out naturally. So my advice is, as much as possible, write it down. And while it's still raw, you capture the experiences, because you would not return to that emotion again. Now you have this piece of gem, this piece of wonderful message. How do you make it brilliant? As you recall your past experiences, your firsts, your frustrations, your failures, you're able to come up with a message just like this raw diamond. But how can you make it bring out its brilliance? Just like this raw diamond. So if you want to receive this raw diamond, just type mine at the chat box. Just kidding. How do you bring out the brilliance from your raw message? We cut. Cut. And how do we cut? How do we remove the excess? We need to be clear with our core message. It should be 10 words or less. It's impossible for our message to be clear to our audience if it's not clear with us. As much as possible, 10 words. Doc Ryan, why 10 words? It forces us, the authors, the speakers, to be really clear about our message. After your message, what do you want your audience to remember, feel, and do after your message? And you can apply this in sales. You have persuaded, you're shared your experiences, but you are not clear on what call to action you want your client to do. That is to really sign and really buy the property. So you would filter everything, every story, every quotation, based on your core message. Number four. Whenever I am invited to speak, I always ask myself, if this is the last time that I would speak, what would I want to tell you? and I would always connect with my purpose. That's the point. We need to activate our purpose. And this reminds me of a story of a singer who was diagnosed with cancer. And he got multiple treatments, and then her husband left her. And she was able to capture the trials and the challenges through the song. Can you watch this video? Tonight is your last opportunity to speak. What will you say to the world? What makes an inspiring speaker? Authentic, speaks from the heart, acts out one's purpose. Doesn't matter if your vocabulary is limited. Doesn't matter if you're a new speaker. It doesn't matter if you're nervous. As long as you're speaking what your heart is saying, then you're an inspiring speaker. In summary, and these are what I learned from Toastmasters, and I thank Toastmasters because it enabled me to learn gems that I apply and whenever I share my story. First, to begin with the audience in mind, to reconnect with our common, our deep roots, to enrich our message by being clear with our core message. You need to activate your purpose, and lastly, in order for us to be channels of healing by the Almighty, we need to have that desire to be that channel. Do you have a story to tell? You might still be healing from that trauma. You might still be shedding tears. It's okay. You don't need to have so many words. It's okay. Start sharing your story. And who knows? Someone in the audience, his or her life will be changed. Can I bring back the control? Toastmaster Jay.
Wow, thank you so much, Doc Ryan. I know that you shorten your speech tonight. I know it's more inspiring story from you, but we thank you for giving us your time tonight, and you inspired us. Especially me, you inspired me to continue attending meeting and to continue my journey in Dasmariñas City Toastmaster Club, because I know in this club I'm sure I will see my best version of myself. Thank you so much again, Doc Ryan. Hi. Now, thank you. Let me share my screen again. Now we will go to our last portion of the meeting. The important rule is to the heart and soul of the meeting. The Toastmaster is giving evaluation to every speak that we heard, and to lead us for the evaluation portion, I call on those distinguished Toastmaster Thoto Ferido. DTM Thoto, take it away.
Alright, what's next is meeting? And that is the evaluation portion, wherein we will know the best part of the meeting and parts of the meeting where we can improve on. It's the heart of our educational program, where we observe every speaker, table topics, and prepared, and those who are role takers, who are part of the program, and we offer them feedback for their efforts, and they can return the favor to us later on, probably in the next meeting. Okay? So, let's immediately start with our evaluation. We've had 5 great table topic speakers, and I'm not supposed to say anything about them, except that they're great. Because we have our own table topics evaluator. Let's give it up for Toastmaster Rica Villaduri. Take it away.
Good evening once again. Let me share my screen. I'm still looking for my PowerPoint presentation. So it's different if you are using the advanced sharing option of the PowerPoint presentation, because I could not see yet my PowerPoint. Alright, so here's my PowerPoint. So congratulations to our 5 prolific table topic speakers. First, we have Mr. David. The question is about married life versus single life. I love that you were able to state the comparison between those two states in life. You presented at first that they are just the same because they are all forms of life that we live in this world. And then you state the difference. Now, you also stated your preference towards the end, and that made your speech more interesting. So it's good that you were asked by the table topic master, what's your preference? Because the more that we are interested when you are sharing your preference between those two states in life. That is why kudos to that as you deliver your speech. In order to improve more on your speech, I just would like you to try adding a certain good start. For example, you may not go immediately with a sameness or the difference of the two, but you may state a question or a fact. For example, there are more married persons than single persons. That is a reality. But then, they are just the same, as you have mentioned. They are just the same state of life that we can live in. Then you state the difference, the sameness of those, and then your preference. So, that can add more value to your speech. But overall, congratulations because you were apt in applying the strategy in answering the table topic session, that is comparison and contrast. As to our second speaker, we have Miss Erlinda Medina. Although I was not able to see your beautiful face, but I was able to listen to your voice as you answered the question. Okay, so you presented that having a car is a must, most especially that you are a real estate broker. You need to travel, you need to bring customers to the properties, to the area that you would like to be sold. Then having a car is a must. And having a house is also a need, although it is more expensive than a car. So you have presented also the difference between having a car and a house. Now, how are you going to level up your answer to this question? You may add more interest by means of presenting a joke at the start. Let's say, for example, I don't need a house because my car is already my home, because I have my clothes in it, I sleep in it, I spend more time in it, more especially as an real estate broker, that you are traveling, then you may be spending more time in your car than your house, so it is somewhat more of a house already. So that can add more spice as you answer the question. And that sustains the interest as you tend to answer the question. But overall, I like the way you presented the comparison and contrast between a car and a house. to our next prolific table topic speaker. So we have Miss Cecil Mendoza. Staying in the Philippines or staying abroad? Now, you started with, I was born in the Philippines. Okay, you immediately answered straightly your option, and that is staying in the Philippines because I was born in the Philippines. My families are here, my siblings are here, and you also stated the contrast. I love traveling, I love going abroad, but since you are a senior, you like to stay more in the Philippines. Okay, and that is natural among the Filipinos. That is because at a young age, there are some who would like to stay abroad, but when they become senior, they prefer staying in the Philippines. So that is a good answer that you have stated. Okay, how to improve more in your answering is that you may present examples of lovely places that you have been to. How beautiful Eastern Europe, Korea, the places that you have traveled as you have mentioned. But then, I still choose staying in the Philippines. So that adds more interest on the answer that you can give. Okay. Now, to our next prolific speaker, Ms. Joy. Rural life versus urban life. I like the start of your speech because it is a catchy one. You have said, if given a chance, I'll go back to rural life. That means right now you are in an urban place, but then you miss the life in your province. So that is a good start. And you have presented the situation right now that since it is pandemic, life is simpler in the province. The basic needs are cheaper. It is more simple living in the province. So that is a good way of stating the difference between those kind of lives. Now, in order to add more spice to your answer, you may add your personal story. The life in the province that you miss the most. That is why you would like to go back to the province. So that can make your story more authentic. Okay? As to our last speaker, Toastmaster Renan Ercilia. So I love the start of your speech. You started with a quotation. You made use of the two words, to lead versus to follow. Leaders are good followers. And that's a very good start. And then you have said that, and you even asked your audience. So there is audience participation as you deliver your speech. And then you presented an example in your work as an HR manager. So an employee that is a good follower to the manager. And you ended your answer with a quotation also. If you would like to become a leader in the future, be a good follower today. And that is very powerful. And kudos to that, TM Renan. Now, as to our table topics master, I love the strategy that you have presented to us this evening. I failed to take a picture of the start of your presentation, so I added the compare and contrast using the justice scale. Now, I agree with you that it is rarely being used in the table topic session, the compare and contrast. And that is a very good strategy that you have presented to us. And it's good that our speech crafters were able to experience this style of answering. And it is a good thing that we can focus on one style of answering a table topic so that there will be more learnings in one strategy we tend to focus on one strategy of answering, and that is the good thing that you had done, DTM. So kudos to you, the master of table topics, the champion of table topics. So thank you. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Well, thank you so much. AD Rica with our area director and our table topics evaluator for that prolific, comprehensive evaluation of our table topic session. Fellow Toastmasters and UCRBs, as prolific as a speaker as you may be, there will still be some room for improvement. That's why here in Toastmasters, in our program, we have evaluators for every speaker, and the speech evaluator will provide verbal and written evaluation for all speakers. And when they're giving their evaluations, be sure to receive praises and watch out for constructive feedback. I'm sure you're into the real estate, you know about construction, and be prepared to receive constructive feedback. By request, we will have our first evaluator to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Marian Estrista is our HR practitioner Toastmaster Renan Arcilia. Take it away, Renan.
Hi, Speechcraft Marian. How are you? I'm your evaluator. I'm gonna start evaluating your speech with what I like about your speech. I like the start when you mentioned something, praise or question in your speech, which is very touchy to get the audience attention. And I noticed that you have a good voice, a very good voice, Speechcraft Marian. I like that how you explain your journey of becoming a real estate practitioner and the challenges that you experienced on how you were able to stand on the challenges. You serve as an inspiration to your audience with how you delivered your speech like that. And you ended your speech with question. It is very impactful, and again, that is very touchy to get the audience attention. Speechcraft Marian, in order for you to take your speech into the higher level, if you let me to suggest, I notice you read your note consistently. It may lose your focus on connecting to your audience. When you deliver a speech, you are talking to your audiences and looking at consistently on your notes, it may lose your focus on them. If I may suggest, since it is an icebreaker speech, you can align your speech in a storytelling style. So even a little practice, as you mentioned earlier, that you didn't have enough practice before you deliver it, but if you use the storytelling style, since it is icebreaker and it's about you, it's easy to remember all the details and all the information that you are going to give us, because that is your story. So even with a little preparation, you can deliver it without looking consistently on your notes. And also, to appear more lively to your audiences, I may suggest that you can use gestures, hand and facial gestures, to give more emphasis on the message that you want to share with us. All in all, your Speechcraft Marian served us as an inspiration. Congratulations for your icebreaker speech. And back to you, DTM Thoto Ferido. You're on mute, DTM Thoto.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster and Arcilia, for your evaluation of our speaker, Toastmaster Marian Estrista. Now, Toastmaster Roundel, our guy.
Before I
Master
start,
Bam.
I would like to call DTM because I am not a lady. How did you feel after delivering your speech?
I was nervous.
Being nervous and still delivering it well, I really give you all the applause that I can. Now, to start, I would like to show you my presentation. We have listened to our Toastmasters. I see something. Okay, yung nakikita sa iyo. I see something in you that is very specific into what I see. But before I tell you what it is, I would like to show you the three things that I have seen as the most interesting part. First is your J on your journey. Your joyful introduction. Second is your unafraid learner. And last is your non-fan. You introduce yourself with a good and a well-mannered on who you are and who you really am as a Batangueño, and you were not afraid of learning things again. You had a naughty punchline, and as you have said, it is a corny joke. But I was laughing so bad, even on mute, when you say that you can call me June if you're a gentleman, but if you are a lady, you can call me tonight. Really priceless. And what I would like to challenge you on is these few things that you want to consider to improve your speech. First is the jaw hook. Second is the use of I. And the N is the nose of the camera. First, the jaw hook. What is it? Your introduction to do something that you can entice us to listen to people. And I know you can do it using the charm that you had on your last bang. That joke. That same particular thing that will end us up curious on what is he about to say. That's that one thing that I have noticed you can improve on and actually add up on the introduction. More than that, this is why I think that I see something. Ako ba ay may nakikita sa iyo? First is that we are joint learners. Second is that we are both unshakable Batangueños because I myself is from Putol. My family, Alday, I know you are familiar with the apelyido. Our last name is also Batangas tradition or Batangas culture. So, and the N is you are not a citizen. We are both not a citizen. Why did I say that to start with? And it is because that you have this fun. I see it in both of us that we do things not to sell, but instead, I am also a salesman, but I don't call myself a salesman. We do things with heart. We create networks, not sales. We don't find quota. We see things in a different perspective. Why did I say that you were not a salesman? It's because we connect to people, so they contact us. When they need something, they come to us. When we need them, we come to them. Instead of selling things, we are in come of need. We create connection. We don't need sales. And that is why we are very same in what you have shown. That very charm is what I see myself. I have said that we are both joint learners. I see myself in you because I see a person who does not stop learning, who has that unshakable courage to learn, and not just sell things, but continue to create networks in order to have greater friends that will make us better in our future endeavors. Overall, we have introduced himself well. He is a.k.a. Rufo Di Maano Jr. from Taal, Batangas, Napuan, a Batanggenyong broker. And with that, I will end my speech with knowing how you are. Given that the Taal just exploded. I would like to know, how are you right now?
I'm okay. I'm surviving. Di maano means unshakable.
Ay, that. Di maano. That's great. That's a new knowledge for you. So confidence comes not from always being right, but from not feeling to be wrong. We try the joke even if we're not sure if they're gonna laugh. That's what we need. That's the confidence that I saw, which reminds me of, I see myself very much of you, and you are such a teacher. I hope I get to hear more from you and learn, as well as our other speakers. And with that, I will return the
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Jim.
Well, thank you so much, Toastmaster Ramnel, for that evaluation of a fellow Batangueño, Toastmaster June. But can I say, Toastmaster June, Toastmaster Ramnel, pag kuwa'y makapailaya kita't makapagkapi. Do I produce the right accent? Evaluate the speech of CRB Vienna Bravo. I'm sure he will practice the law of excellence. Here is our next evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Roy Campos. Okay.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Thoto, and good evening to Toastmaster guests. Congratulations, Toastmaster Vienna, for the successful delivery of your icebreaker or speech introducing yourself. What I love about your speech is how you exuded confidence and enthusiasm in delivering your speech. It looks to me that you are a prolific speaker. I also love your introduction and the way you inject humor, which connected you to us immediately when you said that your name is a combination of your parents, which is a traditional, a customary Filipino family. And you said you are a 5-footer, like Napoleon Bonaparte. And you put me with that because there's something there. Probably you are telling us that, hey, I might be small, but I'm terrible. So you better hear my speech. So you immediately correct it. And of course, I love your hand gesture. From time to time, you try to emphasize with your hand gestures, and I love it. I also, what really stood out there also is the way you narrate your family, your personal information, from a simple, loving daughter to a married wife and mother. And I love the way you put that story there because you were reflecting the tradition of the Filipino family, which is respect. You are following the footsteps of your parents to get broken, and that is something else. Now, this speech, which is icebreaker or introducing yourself, is very important because after this speech, the objective is for us to know you better. But I noticed that you deliver your speech on a faster pace. You deliver it fast, which is the purpose of the introduction speech because we want to know you better. Probably because in your effort to accumulate more information, that's why you believe it fast. But in icebreaker speech, it is important that you just identify the basic information about your family, yourself, your siblings, your parents, and of course your husband. So that's also, you didn't have to make it fast for accumulate information. And I also noticed that from time to time you disengage with your audience. Your eye contact got lost because presumably, I think you are reading some of your notes. As I said, in public speaking, you should maintain eye contact. And probably the reason why you are referring to your notes because you feel less confident. But as the Toastmaster Thoto said, practice makes perfect. Because if you speak from your heart and practice it, you don't make any notes. Just speak from your heart. And then of course you consider it also the recommendation of DTM Thoto, consider pacing and posing. Because you will deliver more impact when you pose and you pace. And of course, I love doing transition. I love it that from a simple daughter to become a family woman, your husband and children. I love your transition there. And of course, I also love your ending, which is having expectation about having a family. Overall, I look forward to hearing more of your speeches in the future. And to summarize, just consider pacing as a major medical photo. Of course, try to avoid using your notes, deliver from your heart, practice your speech. The qualities that I mentioned that I into your heart. And of course, inject humor and confidence in your speech so that you will develop your growth as you progress with your future speeches. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. Adelaide.
Thank you so much, Attorney Roy. Did you notice that our first three evaluators are the 3 R's? Renan, Ram, and Roy. Now we go to our 3 Malaysian Master, Toastmaster Manny Core.
Thank you very much, Generic Waiter, Distinguished Toastmaster Toto. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests. Congratulations, and I thank you very much to Jocelyn for sharing your joyful story with us. Now we have learned many things about yourself. I could feel your happiness, fun, and joy. That's why your nickname also named Joy, right? You have started your speech by asking questions to the audience, and this has created some interest, and you have attracted many attention to the audience with these questions. Well done. Then you told us about your family. You are the only girl of 6 siblings, and the government has sponsored you for your study in agriculture engineering. And you had an opportunity to conduct a month training in Davao, which is the hometown of your president in Philippines, but you refused to go because of your 1-month-old son. So I feel that you have very happy family, because when you talk about your husband as a cook, I can feel you have the joy and happiness from you. Jocelyn, you have inspired the audience with your positive thinking, cheerful and confident about yourself. You also ended your speech with an inspiring thought that we should thank God that we are still alive and still healthy in this pandemic. So we have you have delivered the speech with very some vocal variety that we have learned from distinguished Toastmaster Toto earlier. You have a very slow pace in your speech, and you also have some pause in your speech. I could feel your sincere heart during your speech. This is some kind my humble suggestion for you, which I hope to provide you some tips to improve your future presentation. Maybe you can try to have more body language, like gesture in your speech. You also could have more eye contact with the audience during your presentation, so that you can attract more attention from your audience. In summary, it was very interesting to know about your story, and I hope to listen to your speech in Tasmania's City Toastmaster Club in future. Thank you very much. Back to you, General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Toto.
Wow, thank you so much. All the way from Malaysia, as Toastmaster Manny Core. Moving on, let's go to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Elvis Saligumba. And I'd like to call on our Toastmaster, Louisa Jose.
Good evening, everyone. I know it's late already. Are you still awake? Okay. Good evening, Speechcraft for Elvis. How are you? Congratulations. Let's give Speechcraft for Elvis a round of applause. You know, Toastmaster Elvis, I call you Toastmasters now. I'm very impressed with your speech. You're actually not nervous at all. You're very confident. You're so comfortable and very relaxed while you're delivering your speech. You're even smiling while you are delivering your speech. I like that confidence and congratulations for that. I love the way you organize your speech. You started with affirmation that I want to build my future. And it sounds so unwavering. And then you proceeded with your body, with your life story from your personal life, your education, profession, up to your kids' achievements. I must say I am very impressed with all the accomplishments that you have in your life. And thank you. Thank you for sharing us your life. And at the end, you have shared us a very beautiful quote which I like so much. Everything will be alright in the end. If it's not okay, it's not yet the end. It's so beautiful and impactful. So what else can I say? It's an excellent speech, but there's always room for improvement. So let me give you some points to improve if I may. First of all, I want to hear the title of your speech. I asked the Jerry, is there a title? If you will give a title to your speech, what will it be? That's Master Elvis. What do you think?
My biography.
My biography. You can also say, my way, right? It could be my way. It could be my blessed life, right? Second, if you could kindly look at the camera, because the camera is where we are looking. It looks like you are speaking to each one of us. So better look at your camera. You may glance sometimes at your notes, but most of the time you should look at the camera. Last but not the least, you have mentioned all the happiness, successes, achievements in this life. In your speech, I want to hear some challenges, some problems, and how did you resolve it? How did you go through it? And at the end, you were successful. I want to hear that. In every story, there's always happiness, there's always problem, right? There's always positive things that's happening, there's always negative. To make it a complete story. So I challenge you next time, try to give us that so it will be more interesting. So overall, I love your speech. You're very confident, you're very relaxed, body organization is well arranged with a very powerful ending. You just have look at the camera and next time try to input challenges and struggles that you have in your life to make it more dramatic. Congratulations, Toastmasters Elvis.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster, distinguished Master Luisa Oben, for that heartfelt evaluation. But definitely not the least speaker to evaluate CRD and Lely Tuazon. Give it up for Mr. Corporate, distinguished Toastmaster Burns Mazon.
Thank you so much, evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Thoto Ferido, and of course, our speaker, Ma'am Alelay. Thank you so much, Aleli, for your inspiring speech. I'm on mobile right now because I'm going, but I will give justice in the way I will evaluate your amazing speech with the letters A-L-E. A because you have an amazing journey. Amazing journey. A because you're awesome in the way you shared your struggles and then the way you develop the characters as well as the persistence along the way. It was amazing because it's genuine. Though you are sad and something emotional came out of you along the way, you're still able to control it. And then you were confident that it can inspire us, your audience. And I love that. I love that moment, Mom, because you are such an amazing person with a good heart that you want to share something of brightness inside of you. All of us would really get something out of it. Next is L. L because there's love. Love in every word. You are clear and confident in the way you deliver and utter your conversations, the dialogues on your stories, and there's so much love along those lines of the speech. And you really, in the way you deliver it. Such a quality of a great speech. How can I help you improve a speaker? It's either E or I. E first, of course, the eye contact. I can see that there's emotion along the way, but you can deliver it with impact if you just be natural in the way to see the camera while reading your script, or something like glancing once in a while if you forgot something, but you can still engage and inspire more the audience if you are steady in the way you talk to your audience. And then next, the intensity of the emotion. It's okay to cry in a speech because you are you. It is something unique in you. And that way we can relate more on the struggles. Overall, it was an amazing speech, Ma'am Alili, and it's awesome. There's so much love in it. Just for some recommendations in the way you handle the eye contact and can have more impact in the way you show your emotions. Let it go and go for it. Congratulations and looking forward for more speeches from you.
Okay, I'm hiding my tears.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Burns Mason, who is evaluating while he is traveling. Wow, great evaluator. 6 evaluators for Olympics. The time. Toastmaster Ramnen, our guy. It's your time.
Okay, now as you can see, I have here our timing support. It's time really important. Of course, you already have one. Let's give it more of a room this time. First, before I begin with the timer support, I would like to introduce what a timer is. A while ago, when people were preparing their speeches, delivering their speech, delivering their book, you're seeing these different colors between the different. If you do not see those colors, it might have been after time, which is a means to disqualify when you are in the Toastmasters. It is for us to practice being able to deliver quite a content that is full of quality and we get to express more. And of course, we don't express too much that we control time in order for us to make use of it so well. Now the yellow is in the middle, the red is when the last warning hits, and 30 seconds after you will be disqualified. Okay, now we proceed with the timer. Bear with me, I will just put screen into the because our evaluation timer is here. Okay, I hope you can see it. So, I have here our timer. On the left side here is, let me just cite it. General Evaluator Rika delivered it in 38 minutes, 9 minutes and 15 seconds. Our Evaluator TM Renan with 2 minutes and 41 seconds. I delivered in 2 minutes and 59. So, TM Rolando with 4 minutes and 52 seconds. TM 4 with 3 minutes. DTM Luisa with 3 minutes and TM Bernardino with 2 minutes. For our prepared speeches, everyone was able to deliver well on time. So this one would be clean and this one would be red because they delivered an educational portion, which is DTM Ryan and DTM Thoto. One thing that I have noticed is that TM Marian delivered a great speech, but we need more consent from you so that we get to qualify on the Toastmasters contest. But even though you still delivered it. Now going to our table topics, we have one under time, which is Tim Merlina, and we hope that we get to really hear more points from you guys so that we do this in order for the Toastmasters organization to control our train of thought, our organization of ideas, and express them in a way that they are slowly suited into the mind of the So, that is my timer's report. I would be here ending with a quote that says, the way we spend our time defines who we are. Just like the quote that I have previously sent. And now to give the lasting impact before I leave. For me, I think we all had a great time knowing each other. The fact that we introduced ourselves in a way that who we actually are, there are really remarkable things, such as how Eddie was named after a great performer, and this is my little surprise. A while ago, I won the award with DTM Ryan Encabo. It is because I used my time efficiently by listening. In a world full of speakers, sometimes all we need to do is listen in order for us to learn how. And a while ago, I was able to answer the question, and the answer was life-changing because I already listened to the same speech on a Speechcraft that I had before. So I myself is a very self-made Speechcraft product. So just like you guys, the brokers, I am also, but instead of a different set of events. And the very same thing that inspired me is that I get to listen. Then I get to learn how to speak. This is why I use my time efficiently. This time I use the context of time as a listener and learn how to speak. I use what I have and spend it here on this organization because I know this is a great investment for myself and for my children. The award that I will win is I will give that reward to Jude. I would like to my June, you can have my reward instead because I actually already know the answer because I listened to it before. And I will live with the nakape. I will live with saying that listen is the first step to learning how to speak. Use your time efficiently by listening for now if you're still afraid of speaking, and then eventually on your Toastmaster journey, you will learn how to speak with truth. Use your time well. Back to you, our General Evaluation.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ramnel. You were listening, and somebody also was listening. Did we avoid them? Let's hear it from Toastmaster John Nathaniel Ramos, our counter.
Good evening, everyone, from Toastmasters and our dear Speechcrafters. Well, as for counter for tonight, I was able to listen for those filler words, and I was able to note some of those, and maybe you're confused why I'm using such filler words. What I would suggest is that, or what would I say regarding with those filler words, this may affect, or this may took effect to your professional speaking, and every time you try to deliver a speech, it might give you some feedbacks that might hold you and lessen the effect on your audience with your speeches. Now, what I would like to share to you or the things that I was able to take down notes regarding with your filler words. So for Speechcraft review, di ba ano? 6 and then 1 repeated word to our, just for a moment. Let's start with difficult topics, of course. My apologies for that. With David Stoista, 9 1 Next is Erlina Medina, 2 3 and 1 so. For Cecil Mendoza, 2 For Joy Studio, 3 and let's give a round of applause for TM Renan for delivering a speech without filler words, of course. Congrats, TM Renan. What a glorific speech. And for our prepared speakers, of course. For June Timano, who had 6 and then 1 repeated word. And for the rest of the prepared speakers, let's give them a round of applause because they didn't give or utter any filler words. So before I end up my report, what I would challenge every one of us is that let's lessen or omit or maybe avoid using these filler words. This will make us more professional in speaking, as well as this will be more impact to our audience. That would be all for my report. Back to your General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nathan Ramos. Correctly, let's hear it from our grammarian, our area director, Toastmaster Attorney Rita Binagili.
Once again, good evening, everyone. Let me share my screen. Okay. Congratulations to the following prolific Toastmasters who made use of the word of the day. Top-notcher, Mr. Elvis, 15 times. Toastmaster Jerry, 9 times. DTM Thoto, 6. And DTM Burns, DTM Renan, Mr. June, DTM Luisa, Miss Vienna, Miss Marian, Miss Aleli, Attorney Roy, and TM Nathan once. Oh, I was able to unshare my screen. Okay. And the word of the day, all in all, was used 40 times. And this is the most number of times that I was able to hear the word of the day spoken in a meeting. So this is indeed a prolific meeting. Speechcrafters, kudos to all of you. You really made use of the word of the day and you are very much proactive. How about for the exceptional thoughts made use in this speech this evening? TM Renan mentioned leaders are good followers. If you want to be a leader in the future, be a good follower today. DTM Thoto, there is power in every pause. Miss Vienna, when I gain weight, I can be like an LPG. It made us smile. That is the power of metaphor. Like a sponge, I just absorb all the learnings. So, metaphors being used in speech made your speech more powerful. So, and that is prevalent on the speeches delivered this evening, fellow Toastmasters. Next, sharing your life with others can make your life fuel if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Miss Marian, oh, it's not complete. I was unable to complete. As keen as mustard, I believe that there are experts here who are willing to help me. She is very much willing to join this Speechcraft. So that is again the use of metaphor. Miss Joy, return what does not belong to you. Return a single cent. Be honest. That's principle. Miss Marian, oh, it's double. So it's just the same. Okay. Miss Aleli, struggles of a woman with no name. That title is very much powerful. Kudos to you. DTM Ryan, of course. We were crying and laughing at the same time. That is powerful in the speech. is all right to be lost sometimes, as Doc Ryan presented Night Drive. I wrote a number of pages, but I burned them all. The irony of words. We can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before we decide to be happy. There are lots of gems this evening, fellow Toastmasters. And DTM Roy, again, the use of metaphor like Napoleon Bonaparte, you are a fighter. Lastly, DTM Thoto with the use of the words right from the start. It must come from the heart. That's very authentic. And Doc Ryan desire to be a channel of blessing. I'm so happy that we have lots of gems this evening. Continue to deliver inspiring and powerful speech. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Oh, thank you, Attorney Rita Villagomez. Great job. Now it's my turn. You see, I'm speaking with a fast pace now because it's already 10 o'clock. Just a tab for my general evaluation for this session. We started a bit late, not on time, past 7 o'clock, but we had a heartfelt prayer by CRB Medina. Our Toastmaster of the day, let's do the warm round of applause, was energetic. I hope he's still awake at this time.
Yes.
We have a great grammarian, great discussion on the 4 tenses by Attorney Rita, and a prolific word of the day. It's 41 times now, I think. Yes. Well, for the table topics, it was already evaluated. Great session. Next, I hope you enjoyed the 2 educational portions. I enjoyed giving it. I know Doc Ryan did too. I hope you learned and picked up something from the educational portion on how to inspire your audience and vocal variety. We had 6 speakers and 6 amazing evaluators for them. Encouraging, Renan, and detailed, very technical, and use the name June or Ram. TM Roy, very specific on your recommendation. TM Core, also very specific. Toastmaster Luisa, detailed, and you were able to challenge our speaker. And Toastmaster Burns used the name Aleli to give her his evaluation. For our CRBs, you might have noticed that our evaluation is like a sandwich with bread and beef, with some points for improvement and a lot of praises for you. So, take note of those points for recommendation and you will be able to level up your speeches. Our role takers, great job for the 3 of you. Thank you so much for doing your job well. Toastmaster Nathan for the accounter, Toastmaster Ram for the timer, and again Toastmaster Rita for our grammarian's report. That's a very, very big, powerful meeting today. Powerful and prolific, I might say. Now, the key takeaway for a meeting such as this is focus, listen to the mind and the heart. And for me, as I was chatting with distinguished Toastmaster Luisa, I was truly amazed by the positivity, the power of all the speakers. And you know what? As I listened to them, as I tapped this evaluation, I connected with everyone. You know why? First, for the gentlemen, you can call me Toto. For the ladies, you can call me anytime. I use that joke too, like Toastmaster June Limaano. Next, you know my name, Sophie Lin, is a combination of my father and mother's name, just like Toastmaster Vienna. Toastmaster Marian Estuesta is a fellow Lasallian. I connect with you. Toastmaster Jocelyn, just like you, I am a member of the music ministry for my Catholic organization. Not a drummer, but a guitarist. Toastmaster Aleli, just like you, I did not enjoy vacation when I was young, and I walked to school. And Sir Knight Elvis Saligumba, fellow Knight of Columbus, as Grand Knight, I also connected you, and more importantly, we are both college scholars because we sang in our choir. See, if you listen, you can connect. And if you share your heart out as a speaker, if you share your true story, you can connect. This is truly a great session. I love knowing the 6 speakers. I love hearing the evaluators. What a night. What a Speechcraft. Thank you so much for filling our hearts today. Give back the floor to our Toastmaster of the day, the Barbarian Broker, Toastmaster Jerry Bustamante.
Wow, thank you very much, DTM Thoto. And before I start, thank you very much. Let's give a big hand of applause to everyone for attending this Speechcraft tonight. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for the speaker, especially DTM Thoto and DTM Doc Ryan Encabo. And I am happy that my co-brokers is here and attending the Toastmaster, and I know that being a very good speaker can close so many deal. Is that right? Pero CRBs? And I know DTM Luisa already chosen as the next speaker, speaker next session. And our next session is offline meeting, and Toastmaster Ronel Ibanez is excited to see us in her office on July 16 on our graduation. DTM Luisa, do you have assigned speaker next week?
Oh yes, for the next week, last week, we will have Speechcrafter David Estorista, Speechcrafter ER Medina, and Speechcrafter Peter Verena, and whoever wants to deliver a speech. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Graduation next week. It's graduation.
Okay, next week is our graduation, and it is offline meeting. I hope to see you everyone, and I hope you enjoy this night. Thank you so much. And can you have a class picture? For the cameraman. Team Ram, okay.
So that you can take a photo.
Yes.
This is such a memorable event. TM Marian, TM CC, I hope you're there. TM Bernardino, TM Linda,
Attention.
Maria Lourdes, TM Masnero.
Attention CRB. You are all requested to turn on your cameras for a very special pictorial.
No. Okay,
Iba talaga, iba.
If your camera is off, the National Bureau of Investigation will be at your doorstep in the next 5 minutes.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, we'll take one more. Maybe a walking photo.
Yes, before we say, hail, hail.
1, 2, 3, smile.
Wow,
Okay, thank you guys.
By the way,
Thank you.
our speaker next week on offline meeting is DTM Nomel Gilongos and Distinguished Toastmaster Romy Iscarilla. He is also a licensed broker like us. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night.
Everyone, good night.
And
Thank you, good night.
watch your movie at my YouTube channel later.
YouTube na naman. Okay, see you soon. Brother Elvis.
Thank you so much.
mag-subscribe, ring the bell, mag-like, comment, at i-share mo na.